what happens when something vastly smarter than the smartest person comes along in silicon form? It's very difficult to predict what will happen in that circumstance. It has the potential of civilizational destruction. I said, well, what about, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here. Like most humans can't do that.
That's true.
So it's already past the point of what most humans can do. Most humans cannot write as well as ChatGPT. No human can write that well that fast.
So Elon is clearly terrified of AI and what it's capable of doing. If you watch that interview, you can tell that it could cause the destruction of humanity as we know it.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll leave it to the big players in this space to deal with that. But for now, what can you do as a programmer to stay employed as long as possible? I'll get into some of the actionable steps you can take to embrace this new technology, so let's get started. Tip number 1 is speed up your workflow. The number one thing that I found out that has been great with ChatGPT especially is its ability to put me in the right direction when it comes to coding. Now, what does that even mean? It means that instead of diving deep into Stack Overflow and Google, finding the solution to what I need, all I need to do is ask ChatGPT how to do it. For example, one of the small issues I was having at work was being able to combine React hook forms and React Select, which are two different libraries for React. I needed them to work together and just didn't know how. I could have easily gone through the documentation and found out how, but who really wants to do that? All I did was ask ChatGPT, how can I combine React hook forms with React Select, and it immediately led me to the controller component from React hook forms. With just that quick response alone, it put me in the right direction for where in the documentation I need to focus on, but it also gives you the complete code you need to execute the function. So really, it not only put me in the right direction, but it practically built the road for me. Tip number 2 is get familiar with the OpenAI API. Now, if you're going to keep up with the times, you've got to actually check out how all these API apps are being powered. AI is being used in more than just as a chatbot. You can create beautiful images, text-to-speech, and many other things. Most of them are using the OpenAI API. Just head over to the openai.com website and click on the developer section and then the API reference page. If you know JavaScript or Python, they have the commands for using both the npm package and pip to install the OpenAI library. So really, if you know either one of these languages, you have no excuse but to go through the documentation. But make sure to first get your API key to be able to use the API. There's a section for creating images, so you can literally give a command for creating some sort of unique image, and the API will process the image for you with that exact description. Or you can use it to you can create a transcript of an audio file. All you have to do is give it an MP3 file and it'll spit out the text for it, which is really cool in my opinion. If you guys want me to show you how to use this API step by step, leave a comment below. I'll definitely be playing around with it too. Tip number 3, collaborate and contribute to OpenAI projects. To keep your skills sharp and stay employed as long as possible, consider contributing to open source AI project and collaborating with AI researchers and developers. This will not only improve your understanding of AI technologies, but also help you establish valuable connections within the AI community. Working on AI projects, even on a small scale, will showcase your adaptability and willingness to learn, which are really important in today's fast-paced tech landscape. And there are plenty of open source projects you can get into based on your interest, but to name a few of the top ones there are right now, there's TensorFlow, which is developed by Google, PyTorch, which is developed by Facebook, and I think Keras is another good one that you can look into. I'll leave that as your homework to check out their GitHub and maybe tackle some of the issues while you're there. Tip number 4 is just be conscious of your career choice. The next advice is going to be completely my opinion and one that you should take with kind of a grain of salt, but it's where I think the AI revolution is really going. When it comes to career choice, programmers will forever be useful, I think, but it's just that those repetitive tasks that may be replaceable, like maybe writing those unit tests or automation tools is where I think will really be replaceable. So if you're in a career where you're really doing repetitive things that don't require critical thinking, then I would definitely be trying to look into better opportunities that will allow you to be more creative and have more out-of-the-box approach to your workflow. Things like collaborative work and creative thinking is where I think AI will still have some ways to go before replacing anyone. But if you're looking to become a software developer and are someone that's self-teaching themselves or from our bootcamp, then make sure to hit that subscribe button because I plan on making you and everyone else soon to be developers. Until we all get replaced with AI, of course. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.